What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Femi Abdul Show. Today we are talking about preparing to separate from the military and how I have gone about everything. This is for my battle buddies that are looking to figure out how and prepare for how they're going to deal with life outside of the military once that time does come. My time is coming about a year from now, and I am just creating this video to try to help those out there that don't know what to prepare for and help them get ahead of certain things. This is also a ramble session. If you're new to the channel, we do a lot of ramble sessions over here. I'm not as structured as I would like to be, but I'm working on it. So bear with me. To start off, I have been planning to leave the military since I joined. It was fun for the first year, and then it became very unfun, as you can imagine. I did learn about a lot of things and from a lot of people. So there's that. And I will take that into my civilian journey when it starts. I am in the reserves. I was active duty at one point, and now I am planning, or I am getting ready to be full-time civilian. So for the past 4 years, since my last deployment, I have been planning on getting out as soon as possible, mostly because of my injury. If it wasn't for my injury, I would have gone the officer route as soon as possible. But due to my injury, I have been planning to get out. There's a possibility I might get out early due to med board, but that takes a long time, and I've been dealing with them for about 2 years now. So I recently got off the phone with my nurse case reviewer telling me that there's a possibility that I talk to the board in about 2 months. So now I'm just like, so here's what I need to figure out and what I have figured out so far before I officially get kicked or booted or separated from the military. First thing, I try to attack all the things that I didn't have to worry about before or while I was in the military, i.e. healthcare, housing, food, stuff like that. So with that, I reached out to the VA. Correct. As soon as I came back and I was eligible for it, I reached out to the VA because I do have some active duty time on my belt. So I did qualify to be a veteran. And then based on that, I filed for my disabilities and I did qualify to get 100%. And based on that, I used that to buy my first property, my first home, which I'm currently staying at. And that covers my living situation. So now I have somewhere to live that I can also call an investment property for the long-term purposes. So that's living out the way. Now we have to deal with health. Because I am a vet, I also qualify for a VA health, which means I don't have to pay for healthcare out of pocket. So does my children. Once I do have them, they don't have to worry about that. So healthcare taken care of, and that's the way I went about it. Oh, also food, because when you're in and you're active, you usually don't worry about food because you could just go on base and munch away. I miss those days. It was hard to come back and start cooking. So, but yeah, because of that, I have reached out to the VA. I'm learning how to cook with the VA. Y'all could tap in with that too. But the VA is providing some food. It's like what is it called? It's like a food drive basically for vets, and I get groceries from there every month. You just have to register with your VA. Well, my VA offers that. So that's another thing I don't have to really worry about. That takes a little bit off my plate. Also, I recently had to make sure I graduated before I got out the military. So as soon as I do get out, or before I do get out, I can start like a civilian career if I wanted to. I really don't, but so I can make some more tax plays. I do plan on getting a civilian 9 to 5 eventually. So based on that's just me planning on a solid income while I'm not in the military. But that's something I feel like everybody should have been doing 2 years before they even plan on ETS, and start jotting down things you've done in the military, because you might need that for future reference when you're creating the resumes for certain jobs or stuff like that. I know for sure I have so many transferable skills from the military, that gives me easy access to get into certain fields. So based on that, I'd say start taking notes on the things you've done in the military, or you could just go on the flow or go with the flow when you do start applying for jobs and you're like, oh shit, I do qualify for this because I've done a little bit of that. Also, I would say definitely get your medical records. That's what I was trying to get at first. Get your medical records, because especially for the VA and the disability thing, you do need a lot of proof to provide those things. I knew that going in, and I only knew that because I did a lot of YouTubing. So now I'm just putting my information out there to help somebody else, because somebody's video helped me prepare for my situation that I'm currently in. So, and as far as the med boarding process, if you're worried about that or you have something related to that coming up, it's going to take a long time, brother. You're going to be waiting for a long time, but it's okay, because eventually the road does come to an end. Apparently it's coming to an end for me in about 2 months, where I'm going to find out if I get med boarded out or I get told to just stay in and do the rest of my time, which is not long. And all right, so to really dive into it for real, we have housing and relocation. I would say you guys should use your PCS one last time if you do have access to it. So that would include looking for a specific place and budgeting around a specific city and knowing what your limit is and blah 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 blah. So I'd just say do your research on what you can afford once you do get out, based on what you have. I won't even say what you have saved up, what you can count on as income, which is why I would say if you are going to go the disability route, if you do qualify, I would say start on that before you even get out, because it does take a while. You might have to do a lot of tests, you might have to see a bunch of providers. So I would say start that. If you don't have anything off rip and you already have a civilian career, then you're pretty much good. Just stay within your means and you figure it out. You got this. Next, I would say education or career. I would say work really hard on your resume. If you don't have a civilian career already, I would say find a way to tailor most of your background or your military background and rewrite it. Find a way to translate your military experience into your civilian dream experience. And don't forget to use benefits or things you qualify for, ERNE, which can help with your career or education, so they can cover or support you while you're trying to get an education or trying to get a job. And that's VRNE, that's voc rehabilitation. And then we have SkillBridge, which can support you and getting you into entry-level internships for a specific career you're trying to get into and shit like that. Also, if you do plan on going the school route, I would say look into JST and getting your military transcripts, because that could take off a bunch of elective classes and help you graduate faster. Because I did use that for my associate's program, and I don't know if that helped a lot, but I know I didn't have to take no Spanish or whatever they usually make people take. And then as far as college, I would say apply for college admissions early if you're planning on doing that route. Prepare to use your post 9/11 or VRNE benefits. Look into certifications related to your MOS or your civilian goals while you're in, so you don't have to worry about paying for it out of pocket when you do get out, stuff like that. As far as finance budget, I would say set up a civilian budget, because it's a lot different. You get a lot more responsibility once you do get out, especially if you're active duty. So I would say figure out what your civilian budget is going to be. Next, I would say have at least 3 to 6 months of whatever those expenses might look like saved up somewhere. And then as far as TSP, because a lot of people forget about that, I would say convert your TSP or roll it over, and I guess figure out how to manage that for yourself. I actually need to probably figure out how to convert my TSP now that I think about it, but we'll figure that out when we get there. And then understand all the benefits you qualify for as a veteran. That's probably going to save you a lot of money. So the more time you spend researching that, the better off you're probably going to be in the future. And then you're not like, oh, I wish I did this, or I wish I knew this. There's a lot of veteran based websites or veteran based channels on YouTube. You could probably find one you can rely on and get jiggy with it. Make sure you make copies of all your legal documents. I'm talking LES, your certs, your training certs, your orders, your awards, all of that. Make sure you have proof and copies of all of these documents because you're going to need it for some reason or the other. It's going to come handy. Also, your DD-214, you got to make sure. I feel like y'all all got common sense. So I think y'all got that part. Just make sure you have documents because they be quick to try to, you know what I mean? Fuck a nigga. So, and then last but not least, mental health support. Lord have mercy, because I know damn near all of us got some type of mental, because I believe some of us, if not all of us, need some type of mental health support. It's not need. If you don't think you need it, at least get checked out. You might have something you don't know. Just get seen, figure it out. I think you could check in with mental health before you leave. You can also explore veteran support communities and networks around you, and you should be able to figure that should be probably one of the top 3 things you do, because life gonna be life, and brother, it ain't gonna be easy. And then understand that you're not alone. A lot of people going through the same shit you're going through. So you're in a big city or a small city, try to figure out if you could find other veterans around you, because dealing with life the way you're going to be dealing with it and the way your civilian friends are dealing with it, or associates or buddies, or it's not going to be the same. I had the issue of nobody being able to understand me for a while, even my partner, but I found some civilian friends. So some ex-military friends, all veterans. And I think it helped a lot, feeling like I'm not crazy for thinking the way I think. So that's pretty much it. Just a simple, straight to the point video. Hopefully I didn't jabber a lot. Hopefully this video helps somebody go Army or a glass. Without further ado, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Stay positive, stay motivated. Peace and love, baby.